Alright, this is Arena. Ironically, I favored Arabia for once in my entire time playing this game for over 3 years, because this game is indicative of the new supposed meta of Arena, and we will get into that, if not already indicative by the title. Now, opposing me is Vergaruffer. So, yep. Now, the thing with the Khmer / Khmer, depending on how you want to pronounce it, they don't need any building requisites to move up to the next stage. So, there's a high propensity to just go to Castle Age at a very rapid pace. Now, they have the ability to outboom almost anybody, because with that no structure requirement, their farming bonuses are you can put a farm over here or up here. Doesn't matter. And they generate 1 food, I guess, per second, however fast a farmer generates food, but there you go, right? So, yeah, they're able to outproduce like crazy. Now, they have to have a wood drop-off point, but their farming bonus is quite crazy. So, him and I are doing the same thing where we're both pushing in our Ibexes first. And force dropping to keep villager production going. Yeah. But anyways, their units, they're classified as, I want to say, a cavalry siege civ. I click on that and I can't unpause it, so we're not going to do that. So anyways, yeah, he's doing the same trick I am. 4 vills, 3 volleys, 6 vills, 2 volleys. Faster saves time. That's what this game's about. So, anyways, I say it with such recalcitrance because this is my second least favorite civ in the game. First of which being the Turks. So when I play these guys, I make an added emphasis to go dummy hard against them and just win. So, pretty good food wood distro, so that's nice. Oh yeah, whatever. But I'll start a lot of them building on this, and then I'll start pushing villagers over to gather res, because again, timings, right? Max res. So anyways, they have the only unit in the game that can cut trees in the Castle Age, and that's the Ballista Elephant. It is what it says. Elephant with a freaking, like, ballista scorpion on its back. It was a real unit. It existed around them. Because their civilization, I want to say it's in Cambodia or Laos, or the region as a whole. They ruled Asia, Southeast Asia, for a very long time. So it's a real unit, so that's cool. Anyways, they don't get anything past Cavalier, so their stable line's pretty generic, but it's their spamming. And then lastly, their Scorpions can fire double the projectiles as well as their Ballista Elephant with their unique text called Double Crossbow or something like that. So anyways, kind of ridiculous, but such it is. So, best way to beat them is my strategy that I plan to employ later. So, with the Vietnamese, I used to like them, and then I had a couple rough losses, and then I stayed away from them for a while, but now I'm back. And I'm really able to just hit the ground running with these guys because my military units don't cost food with the advent of the wonderful Fire Lancer, go to a game show. There's my wonderful spouse, Tim. Whatever. Anyways, I don't have a spouse named Tim. Anyways, so... yes, this is their tech tree, as you can see, for the people that are not looking at this. Their foot archer, the Rattan, is my favorite archer unit in the game. It has Huskar-like Pierce armor, so fully upgraded against 10, which is crazy. And all their archer units have 20% extra HP from the archer unit. Production building. But they also get Elite Skirmisher, which is the best skirm in the game. So take that, Native American says, with your little fancy upgrades. So there you go. But all that to say, what makes them good comparative to most archer civs is archer on archer, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Against cavalry civs, you have the Fire Lancer, which is considered a shock infantry, and it costs 40 wood, 45 gold. It does a 4 charge attack and maybe a 5 or 6 in the elite form, so it just shoots like out of 4 range. That. And then, yeah, see, look, he already clicked up the castle. It's insane. So, yeah. That's something. I think he just did this out of habit, proximity, whichever. But, there you go, right? So, in that case, I will have the better eco than him, like, without a doubt. But he's gonna make it to Castle Gold before me. So anyways, their elephants with Chatras, now they're missing Blast Furnace, but their elephants have the second most HP in the game. For generic elephants, yes, the most. The most is obviously the Persian War Elephant. And with Chatra's just ultimate meat shield, right? And if you're playing against a cavalry civ, as long as you get the production, you will be able to smoke them pretty easily. Production and home defense, right? But you got Fire Lancers, you got the chonkiest elephants, there's the stable, that you can have. And their cav archers are actually extremely viable. Now they don't have Parthian tactics with the extra armor, but they get 20% more HP. So I think the Turks barely beat them in HP with Sipahi, their unique upgrade. But it's pretty rare to see Turks go cav archers. Especially on Arena, you can pretty much never count on that happening. And all that to say, yeah, they're doing pretty solid. So their eco upgrades only cost food and research 100% faster. It used to just be research, or it didn't cost any wood, but they changed it. Horrible pathing, it is what it is. I tried to get the villagers here first, but it didn't work out. So anyways, I'm going to want a castle. I'm going to want to seize the map control, and then I'm going to want to, yeah, take these berries as part of said map control, and get the relics. So, what I dislike about the modern Arena meta, you don't have 3 phases of the game. So typified, and for better or for worse, but typified is you get everybody goes fast castle, and then you try to fight for the relics. But this is always a tenable strategy. But what I've experienced lately, and quite voluminously, which is part of lately, but adds some flair to it, is they will do 0 military. I've noticed if you try to punch in, they have some basic unit that will withstand most pressure. Scorpions, mass elephants, castle or 2. And in Castle Age, that will probably be enough. I say generic elephants are totally generic, but my point being is just have enough from their end to withstand any pressure, right? And that to say, that's kind of the new strategy people are employing. Oh, also, they can get inside their houses up to 10. They don't heal, though, so herbal medicine won't work. So that's another unique thing that they can do. This is the game of getting housed, but it's also the game of production. So, anyways, I'm going to go seize all of this. So this is what I see. I have a very strong inclination that he's only booming. Oh, also, as the Vietnamese, I can identify where my opponent is. And that's another huge thing that they got going for them. And so yeah, we're going to seize the middle. We're going to get this castle up. And we're going to get these relics right. Again, game of housing. So we'll see how it all shapes out. But because of that, I'm just going to get handcart. And as you can see, the research time is fantastic. So anyways, we're going to go get more relics. It was kind of a mistake to send 2, but I haven't even scouted the full map yet. But that's because I want to get all 5. So I'm going to start pivoting away from gold, kind of, soonish. But yeah, so we're doing a better job of, like, getting the relics, getting them to come back. Shift click. It's a big deal. It's a real winner. So you can tell a unit to go somewhere, and you do the initial command, right? And then you shift, while holding shift, you can tell them to go anywhere else. So anyways, I've said that before, but just as a reminder that life's good. So, quality of life, right? But in that case, I'll slowly pivot off gold, I'll slowly pivot off stone, because at this point, there's 2 things that I know I need to do. First of which, will he be saved? It's going to take 3 strikes, and get wrecked. So, my monk is alive. That's always nice. Seeing that's the case and how he didn't contest for it, I know he's not going to do anything else. Because this is the new meta of Arena, which is just an exorbitant amount of eco, 0 military. And you know what? SimCity up. I know that feeling when I'm the humans, but I actually make some military to defend myself and to try to delay them from all-in castling me while I'm booming out of my mind and cool. But, as the title is indicative, this is anti-Boomtown. So what it means is, I gotta get enough of an eco, enough production, and enough units on the field just in case he tries to do anything funny. But the reality is, we just gotta get huge, right? So I've noticed it's worth keeping some on gold. Shocking, but it is. And with that to say, at this point, it's just preventing any side swipe. And I normally am a little more aggressive on trying to get the berries, but I've noticed in this new supposed meta, the best thing to do is to kind of force myself to go to Imperial a little faster. So I'm gonna add, I don't even know if I had another town center, to be honest, for a while at least. Yeah, for a while I don't. So my goal is just to get huge, right? So we're gonna fast forward. My secret weapon I plan on using. So, you know, I'm pivoting to chickens, right? Just help the efficiency. We're just gonna fast forward to just get to the best part. Right? So in the 3-stage arena, it's fast castle, relics, and then big armies fight each other. What these people are doing is they go fast castle, boom out of their mind, and then they just make a composition that castle age units may or may not hit. So in that, I had an instinct, right? And that instinct was to click up faster than I would have liked. But we're going to go and pause so we can do what we want to see, which is, yeah, said 3rd stage of Arena. So let's go ahead So ironically, oh no, never mind. Yeah, he's smoking me on the villager count. But this is pretty typical nowadays, is sub 30 uptimes, and then just make that composition and then just go for it, right? From like their standpoint. The score's indicative. I'm doing quite solid. But he's going to beat me because why this game doesn't value map control and relic control from a score standpoint, who cares, right? It's just a number. But anyways, I realized that he didn't want to go down without a fight. I realized he's got a castle now. So I'm going to do something a little different than what I normally do. By my res count, everything's pretty solid, but I know what I have to do immediately. So I'm going to cancel the queue on this, just so I can start getting the necessary upgrades. Of which, I'm going to just bombard cannon him. And I have started to value vision much more. So that's great. So I see this, and I get a little confident, and I kind of think to myself, you know what? Let's do the thing that I haven't done, and that's what this whole game's been about. It's doing the things that I haven't done. So I'm going to gently apply some pressure, I'm going to make more production, and I'm going to see more of what he has. Now, I don't know what he has right now, but I see what he's making. Well, again, I don't. For the viewers, yes, we're looking at it. Again, game of housing. So anyways, I get conscription immediately upon hitting, immediately upon hitting Imperial, which is great. Good, I embrace her. So I realized, you know what, like, let's actually try to relatively stop this castle. And then we're going to start making some bombards. Now, fortunately, he didn't micro this well, so I'm going to get a couple elephants for free. We got to get back in the castle. I don't know what I was doing on this. Like, I should have been attacking the elephants, but again, it's all relatively good. Not really. This is looking pretty rough. Oh, he researched touch swords or whatever. You know, it's going to stabilize and it's going to be okay, because I realize, you know what, like, I saved my monks, so great. But, yeah, horrible micro there. What's interesting is I managed to kind of go back, right? I don't think he's got armor upgrades in because, yeah. But anyways, I'm getting good value out of this castle. Caused a reaction, forced him to do some things, and because of all that, it frazzled him and messed with his timing. Get a couple elephant kills, so pretty solid. Because he was frazzled and it set everything amok, I just need production buildings, and I need to stop getting housed, like, yesterday. So anyways, I'm gonna go for it. Like, at first I didn't think about doing it, but then I thought, you know, he doesn't have any fast units yet. He'll probably plan on getting it, but I just need more timing and disruption on my favor. Seeing that he can't move in quite yet, the goal is just, again, disruption, and that's what we're going to do. And then we know we're going to lose the castle, so at this point it's just get as many elephants for free as we can, try to preserve these bombards, obviously, and it's going to work itself out. Again, I don't think this guy had the armor upgrades. No, he didn't, because these elephants were relatively quick. So anyways, there's another one destroyed. So, get wrecked. That was overkill, but that's fine. So it pushes him back, right? And I've got enough Fire Lancers to preserve this. Because you need a lot of Hussars, and he's not ready yet. So I realize I've got a window here. I'm going to take advantage of it. So I kind of got confused. I was like, oh, let me just stop the side as well as pivoted, right? So the goal is just to kill, just destroy this castle, right? So we're making more. and my only goal is Fire Lancers. He can't close in with the Bombards right here with the Scorpions, so I'm like, let's just get it done, right? So armor upgrades, the monks are here to heal everybody, which is a criminally underrated aspect of the game, so if you don't know, just get your monks. Bring out your men of the claw. So anyways, things are going good. Yeah, his Boomtown's legit. This will go down, and then yeah, there's my eco for now, right? But I don't really change it all too much. I just need food and gold comps. So that castle's down. Now he's mad, so he wants to send his Scorpions forward. I'll take this trade any day. So one-shotting, and then yeah, we're good. So I can keep my numbers going, and our population is still in his favor, but at Archer Civ, I don't need the biggest populations. I see that, and I'm still going down. Why I got Arson? I don't know. I just was like, oh, I have to get something. Which was the smartest per se. I wish I would have researched their unique tech paper money, where they get free gold with their wood choppers, or lumberjacks. Jeez, what am I saying? But anyways, so we're gonna try and just get some elephants. Why he went elite, I have no idea. So yeah, that's as good as I can get. I may have researched siege engineers. Yes, I freaking did. So watch this, right? Two Bombards, but he doesn't have the numbers to do this at all. And my guys are coming in. Well, you know, never mind. He managed to get 4 Bombards. But I took out 2 castles. We're going to take out a 3rd one. And at this point, it's like, you know what? Don't commit. This is what he wants. He wants to funnel me in here. So let's see here. The ideal stat. So yeah, I'm triple his KD ratio. So at this point, it's like, you know what? Take out a couple production facilities, wait till we get more Bombards. This was very sad. I wanted them to go forward, but it just didn't work out. So he wants to employ his military, and that's fine. But so we're just going to kind of keep everything relatively as best as we can to keep it one-sided. I have this canalized, which is good. I didn't even mean to do that. They did that, so that was nice. But we're going to take out this castle. And then the one thing I wanted to do, became housing, but it's a little more respectable because I have supply cats. Yeah, look at this. They're not going to get through this. No, I don't care what you have. We're good. Wasting res to repair a castle that will not be saved. I need more. Why he's here, I don't know. Yeah, free damage before they even close the distance. And these guys get 102 HP fully upgraded. Unique to the Vietnamese, which is great. That guy actually survived one. Maybe it was a Anyways, yeah, so we're doing really solid. His Scorpions are putting in work. That's okay that he wants to save that castle, because I realize I need to change what I'm doing and just take out these Scorpions because they'll have nothing to show for it. So I've got the numbers now. We're fine. He way overextended himself. No meat shield. Can't have a meat shield unless he gets Hussars, which will melt to this. And yeah, it would have been nice to have some upgrade. So yeah, add a little DPS while they're pivoting and going around, doing crazy stuff. So I now have the Bombard numbers that I want. Also, pro tip, you always want to prepare villagers nearby. Nothing special about the Vietnamese Bombard cans other than you get them. Let's see, I think I'm able to save this. It is a game of inviting units and then going back. And that's the thing with Bombards. It's preservation of them. And using them when you need to. For offense. But I didn't get Trebs like I wanted. I have them. So yeah, that was my bad, but whatever. I'm doing a pretty decent job of fighting on 2 fronts. Granted, it's over a single block of land. But Normally I lose in these situations because I get overwhelmed, but I'm on it today, which is great. So I've destroyed all his castles. This is really good Hussar production. But what he doesn't have is anything to counter fire fencer. So he's going to get maybe another gunboat or two, so I was at 5. Yeah, I'm at 2. So one could argue he's winning in that respect, but I've got map control, I've had map control, I'm going to kill all these villagers, and then we're just going to slowly push in, right? He's got no more castles, so I know I just got to just square inch this thing, and World War I style. So that's what we're going to do. So I know my only job is just to continue to kill the scorpions, preserve the bombards. We're adding a few more, which is great. And that's the name of the game of going anti-Boomtown. If you have the map control, if you've got the relics, you have to take advantage of it, but you can't abuse it. I've always been on the propensity of, you know, I just want to get the relics and then get huge. But the reality is you got to kind of curve a little bit of it just to click up on top. And with Archer Civs, I'm very much able to do that. Now, I wanted to save this castle. I actually got it up. I didn't show that. This is where the main action is. I'm in his base. He's got nothing. I guess he just felt the need to make one. And a ram, and that's it. Now, smart me would have pivoted to light chem. I don't get Hussar. Or a couple elephants, that'd be fine too. A couple, right? But yeah, and then at that point, I would have had a little more mobility, just a little bit extra oomph. But yeah, all things considered, it turned out very well. And he was going to get this castle. Again, another reason to have light cav, just to have some mobility. But I actually went to abandon this castle, that's why they're all starting to walk away. Because, like, this is kind of a lost cause, and I know that, so I'm starting to make more villagers. But then the goal is to put a castle here in the center. And, you know, it's 500 gold, it's fine. I still had plenty in the back. And then I actually managed to almost wall myself in here because I had no idea that I went this far out of hand. So, I passed getting elite rattan archers, as well as just moving away from the archery range in general. Yeah, it didn't even have an archery range. So, yeah, 6 barracks. Probably could have gotten a little more, but that's okay. I had 3 siege workshops, which it's good, you know. And it was just a game of I have to punish this guy for just booming, and I have the secret weapon to handle his army comp, which is part 1 and part 2. So, I think it was good. I think I can really only do this with an Archer Civ, because to get map control, to have villager production, to just outproduce my opponent in its own way, I can't spend food on military. And I'll get back to it in terms of like being able to balance that, and now that this is the new arena, but it's hard to let go of the relics as well as wanting to get over 100 villagers. But I clicked up at like maybe 70 villagers, and that's kind of the new ingredient per se. So nice little housing project. Blacksmith in the middle. Yeah, the only way you're getting out of your house over here is if you jump through the windows to your neighbor's house. So, anyways, but he had really good macro, I think. I think he had good production. And yeah, him losing those 3 castles, I lost 1 and I was about to lose 2, but by that point the game was relatively decided. So, I'm Dr. Loving, and I played Vergarifer. And as we look at the stats, I bide some time. Peace. So yeah, almost 2-to-1 KD ratio. That's fantastic for conversions. That was nice. Yeah, just smoked it. And yeah, see what's crazy about these Boomtown people? They can almost match the gold that I have, which is just absolutely bonko, and eco just in general. But he made it to Castle 1309. Yeah, that's when I clicked up. Just crazy. So that is the difference. I can't pass 4,000 gold. That's ironic. And even though we nearly had the same eco, he was completely out of gold. 0. That's why he was so desperate to try to get all this gold. So, yep, and I still had some, which is good. But till next time, peace.